Hey everybody, it's Bill DeVille, host of United States of Americana on the Current.
Well, thanks for having me, Luke.
Yes, it is Luke. Nice to meet you.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing well. Now,
Good.
I understand that you've got a very special show coming up this weekend.
Yes, I host a little show called United States of Americana. It's on the airwaves from 8 until 10 o'clock. And I've been doing this for pretty much exactly 10 years now.
Wow, 10 years.
10
That's
years.
fantastic. So take us back 10 years. How did you hatch the idea for United States of Americana?
Well, the idea goes is it's kind of, I was between jobs and I got this idea. I'd like to do some sort of Americana show. And I thought of this name that would be really cool, United States of Americana. So I actually trademarked the name right out of the gate. But I had no place to put it. And this was back in 2001. And ultimately, I did do a show on KFAI, I believe it was in 2004, and I called it United States of Americana, where I blended old school country with new Americana and put together a 1-hour show, and it was really fun. But yeah, like I said, I had really no place to put it.
So you were able to find a home for it right here at the Current.
Well, the Current signed on in 2005, and there was no real show yet. There wasn't a lot of special shows that were special programming that the Current did. But then some time passed, Jim McGuinn came on, and by 2009, I did my first show in a 1-hour format. It was pretty fun.
That's cool. And here we are 10 years later.
Here we are 10 years later, yeah.
Now, over the course of those 10 years, you've had a lot of
Yeah.
really cool guests and so forth. Like, tell me about Roseanne Cash. Wasn't she on in the early days?
She was on the very first show,
Wow.
and that was really fun because she came by and she was talking about her album. Her album was called The List, and The List had a kind of a cool backstory to it. Johnny Cash and her were on the road. She was just out of high school, and he was mentioning some songs to Roseanne, some classic country songs, and she didn't know any of them. So within an hour or two, he had this list of 100 songs that he thought she should know, and she didn't even know she wanted to be a musician at this point. She just knew she wanted to write songs. And he had this list of 100 songs, and the list got buried and reappeared some, 40 years later, and she recorded some of those songs from that list of 100. She recorded like 13 of them that appeared on that album, The List.
That is fantastic, and you can't take better mentorship than that.
Then, yeah, Johnny Cash and a list from him, and apparently he didn't forget. I mean, once he heard a song, it was like locked in his head forever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. Now, Roseanne Cash is a very established artist, but
Right.
over the course of United States of Americana, you've also championed a lot of emerging artists.
Yeah, a couple of my favorite ones that over the years that have been on the show. Well, the Cactus Blossoms, they've been a guest more than once. I'm going to play at least a song from them on Sunday morning show. And let's see, another one, First Aid Kit. That might be one of my favorite sessions we've ever done because they were so honest and sweet and funny, and their stories were amazing. And that was another one that was really good. And there was a guy named Daniel Romano who he's a guy from Canada. He made one really good album. There was a song on it called Middle Child that I got a huge response to. So that's the kind of thing, and he came by once too. That's the kind of thing that I love to play in the United States of Americana. It's fun to discover new music together with people who like the show.
Yeah, well, in like First Aid Kit, who are from Sweden, and Daniel Romano's show, you don't have to be American to make Americana.
You do not. Another name, Yola, from England.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like big in the Americana circles nowadays.
Totally. Now, those are emerging artists, and you've also kind of looked at some people who have been kind of part of the Americana scene from all the way back, like Waylon, Uncle Tupelo.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, of course.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
So it's fun to juxtapose an old Waylon song next to a new Chris Stapleton song or something like that.
Oh, totally. Totally. Now, before you go, I have to ask you a quick question here. At the top of the show every time, we hear this cool medley of Americana tunes that launches the show every week. Can you tell us a little bit about who we hear in that nice little stinger that plays at the top of the show?
Well, the very beginning is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Sure.
Yeah, Ennio Morricone. So that's in there. Let's see, there's Willie Nelson, Bloody Mary Morning. There's the Rolling Stones, Faraway Eyes. There is, I'm trying to think what else is in there.
Sunday Morning?
Chris Christopherson, Sunday Morning Coming Down.
Okay.
Let's see, what am I missing? Uncle Tupelo is in it.
Oh, yeah. No Depression.
Oh, and one of my favorites, a song that I'm sure we'll hear on Sunday, the Louvin Brothers, Atomic Power. an old country gospel number, which is a personal favorite of mine.
Well, that's so cool that it has your signature all over it like that. And we'll hear it this Sunday at 8 a.m. Central.
You bet. United States of Americana. I can't wait to do 10 more years of the show.